Everybody, greetings everybody. Checking in with you tonight. I know you're going to be jumping in here. This is not a scheduled live. This is none of that, but I want to talk to you about Syria. So I'm just waiting for some guys to hop in here. Give me a thumbs up that you're here. And we're going to start talking about this thing here, guys. So I'm getting a lot of news and information in right now. And I want to share it with you. So if you're here and just checking in, I'm traveling, I'm on the road, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'm getting information in from Israel, from Assad. I'm getting information in from Ukrainian sources. I'm getting information in from everywhere right now. And it's so important what is happening. I told my wife, I said, okay, we just hang on, can't go to bed now. I've got to go on here and talk about this. I have all the information right here in front of me coming along on my iPad right now. And I actually was putting the information together to do a facts only video, and then breaking news came. And basically the news is Assad's plane is either crashed or been blown out of the air by the rebels. This has been confirmed now by air traffic control. I've seen the video from inside Damascus, Mossad, Russian confirmation, and Ukrainian confirmation. So this is what we're finding out right now. And guys, I'm telling you, this is a big deal. There are a lot of things going on. And I know, like, when I say it's breaking, it's breaking. So I'm reading the information with you guys right now. And let me get in here where I can maybe see some of the chat. And there you are. So thank you for being here. People will jump in unscheduled. Skeghead, thank you for being in here in Australia. If you do not mind, just keep an eye on the chat for me. I'd appreciate it. All of our other moderators probably here stateside are asleep. So we've got multiple options happening, but I'm going to share everything with you up to the minute. So welcome to all of you guys for jumping in here. It is 8:55 here in the West Coast. I'm currently in the state of Nevada, and I will return back to Pennsylvania tomorrow. So let's just start going through it. Here's what I can tell you, 100% factual, okay? 100% factual. I'm going to go and just share the information with you. And then as I was preparing the information to put together in facts only, all of a sudden I started getting all of these messages in. And I'm just going to go back to where I was starting. And then good morning to you all. I'm waking you up in the middle of the night and it's late here. I want to go back to where I was going to start. So here we go. I see you, K-Bell, listening from work. You can just listen to me. I can't put the graphics up. I'm live streaming on my phone to get this information out instantly because, guys, this is very important when it comes to Ukraine. This is very important when it comes to Russia. Russia right now is running sorties over Syria. That is a fact. So let me tell you everything. I've got all the info direct in from my guys there, my friends in Israel, whom I trust completely. So the first thing I want to share with you is this. The rebels have sent out an official document. And you know what? I can do this. I can show you the official document. So there, that is the official document that has come out from the rebels. And of course, it's written in Arabic, but what does it say? It is saying this: as the rebels are moving through Syria, they are discovering chemical weapon supplies. Now, that is not a surprise because Assad gassed his own people. This is all of the history of this evil regime. Guys, are you seeing the comparisons here? You have the evil regime of Vladimir Putin. He was pumping up and stabilizing that Syrian evil regime with Assad, with the puppet government, Russian military installations, weapons, Russia destabilizing the Middle East completely. Now it has bitten them in the rear end big time. And right now, I'm telling you, coming in not only from uh, Israel, not only coming in from Ukraine, coming in from Russia, but even guys in Lebanon getting the information. Russians are running sorties right now, to smoke those weapons depots. Of course, Russia knows where they're at. Russia has used Syria as testing grounds. We know all of those stories historically, and we do not have to speculate. But this document that I'm sharing with you right here, I have it translated into English. If I was on a live stream, I would show it to you. If I was on a fax only, I would show it to you, but I will read it to you. That's the document. It says, the rebels in Syria, we are confirming that we have discovered chemical weapons stockpiles held by the Syrian regime. We are making this as an official announcement, and we are letting the world know right now that we have no desire to hold these weapons. We have no desire to use these weapons, and these are weapons of mass destruction, and we consider this, Vitaly Dot, it's live. We consider this and these weapons of mass destruction that could be used for crimes against humanity. We have no desire whatsoever to use these weapons. It goes on to state, if you're just joining, this is the document coming in from the rebels, right? Just 2 hours ago. This is the document. It goes on to say, I'm reading it right to you. We will act with utmost responsibility with all our might and possibilities. I'm reading the translation that if these weapons go other places, they're not coming from us. Right now, we will do our best to control these means and weapons of warfare so that they do not fall into irresponsible hands. At the conclusion of this document right here, the rebels also state, we are willing right now to cooperate with world powers and international community in monitoring sensitive sites and weapons that will provide guarantees to ensure that these weapons are not destroyed. Now, what happens next? So that's what we have here. And I'm telling you, it's a lot going on, especially when you get to the chemical weapons. And you remember, we're here to see the connections between Ukraine, Russia, the Middle East, Iran, North Korea, China. I've been trying to share over and over. Really, for years, I've been shouting this before any of you guys ever discovered the work that we do and the work that we've done there for so many years. All of these are connected. Ukraine right in the epicenter of what is happening internationally, and we realize it. Now, these things that are unfolding in Syria, we would be derelict and we would fail in trying to share the big picture of what is happening. Now, I can tell you right now that the city of Homs has fallen 100%. The city of Homs has fallen. It fell at 5:06 p.m. Pacific time, officially. The Syrian military that was left without a fight. Homs fell. Now, what happens next? They're pulling down the statues. I'm sure people have been seeing the videos, all of this stuff, whatever. Once that happened, the Syrian rebels at 5:14 p.m. fallen, Vitaly, or more like liberated. That's great. Yes, liberated. Thank you, sir. I'm doing this live and pulling the information right now. Al-Qusar. Al-Qusar is the city between, you have Homs, and then you come down to Al-Qusar, and from there you move down towards Damascus. Al-Qusar fell, liberated, at 5:14 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's what I am on. I can also confirm to you that there's been a lot of speculation that Syria, over the last 7 to 10 days, communicated with Iran Trevor McNichols, yes, of course, these chemical weapons came to Syria from Russia. They were using them as a testing ground. Absolutely. So Syria was trying to work out a negotiation deal with Iran that would allow the Syrians to hold on to Damascus and Homs in these central areas, and they would come into a partnership to hold just the central section, and the Assad regime would stay in power. Iran rejected it. That information came out at 5:18 p.m. officially Pacific time. So 8:15 p.m. plus 7, 3:15 a.m. Dunk on you. Thank you for that super chat. Caught you off guard. Caught me off guard. All the information flying into my stuff now from my friends that I trust. Now, let's go to the next thing. So Iran says, no, we're not going to save you. We're not going to save you. We're not going to do this. We have a bigger fish to fry right now. It's the same thing that Russia has been telling Russia told Assad over the last couple of days, sorry, we have other things happening. Serious question, do we know who the rebels are? Are they friendly? So you have three groups of rebels that are right now working together to overthrow the Assad regime, and I really need to do a facts-only video on that. But you have Turkish-supported rebels, you have Kurds coming in, you have different factions that are coming in. They are Muslims, and they are fighting with their own regional groups coming in from the three directions against the Assad regime. I need to dive deep on that and show it to you. So now let's keep going. Iran then says, nope, not going to do it. We're not going to partner with you, Syria. We have too many other things that we have to deal with. Here's the deal. Iran and Russia are partnering together. We all know it. They've been doing it. They will continue to do it. And on this one, they have written off Syria. It is a losing battle. It's over, guys. It is absolutely over. Now, at 5:38 p.m. Pacific time, 3:38 there in Syria, Assad's forces withdrew from the Damascus International Airport. I then saw all this video that was being sent to me. Damascus International Airport, all flights canceled. Everything is shut down, closed. The rebels are coming in. And when I say rebels, these are the guys overthrowing the evil Assad regime. We can talk about the rebels in detail, in depth later, when I can show you pictures and maps and statistics and graphs and all of that to show you where they come from, who they work with, who they're supported by. But right now, what is most important are these three main rebel groups are working together, fighting to overthrow the evil Assad regime. Guys, I remind you, it was just years ago, they were piling their own people into mass graves, gassing them, wiping out their own people. It was genocide happening. And right now, what goes around is coming around. So Assad's forces gone from Damascus airport. Now, here's some other things coming in. And this is very interesting. This came from some of my friends there in Israel and from Lebanon. All Syrian forces at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. there in Syria and Lebanon, left all border crossings with Lebanon. So the Syrian military left all of the border crossings on the border with Lebanon. So you have Israel, and then here you have Lebanon and Syria. So all there together. And guys, I know that a lot of you live in big countries. I'm seeing people right now saying, well, I'm in Australia, I'm in America, I'm in Kentucky, I'm in Europe. Greg, it's 5 a.m. I'm listening to you in Europe. Guys, we're talking about an extremely small area. It is just mere miles, mere kilometers, how close Israel and Lebanon and Syria, even moving up into Turkey and over into Jordan. Guys, it's so tiny. So you have to think about it in different parameters than you may normally think about. So when we say, or when I'm sharing with you right now, that the Syrian forces, Assad's forces, withdrew from the Damascus, not Damascus International Airport, but also the border crossing with Lebanon, that is a big deal. This is where Israel was just striking 2 weeks ago before the ceasefire. Israel was striking not only the Syrian forces there, Hezbollah, weapons depots, Russian encampments, all was happening right there. Kentucky's a commonwealth, not a country. You are correct. And my home state of Virginia is a commonwealth. And where I live in Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. you are right. But Kentucky's much larger than all of these regions I'm talking about when you talk about the size of Israel and Lebanon and Syria. That whole pocket we're talking about is falling right now. So the Syrian army gone from Damascus International Airport. The Syrian army has departed the border with Lebanon. Now, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, the IDF, the Israeli Air Force, struck and destroyed a weapons convoy in Syria that was pushing weapons out of southern Syria into Lebanon. That was related to Hezbollah, getting the weapons to Hezbollah. The IDF, and whether it's going to break ceasefire with Hezbollah, I don't think so, but Israel is pushing hard right now, and they are fighting. It's interesting. We're having Russians run sorties, and we're having Israelis run sorties. Guys, this is not hearsay. I'm telling you facts. The Russians are running sorties, as I told you, to destroy these weapon depots that even the rebels are talking about. We talked about earlier in this live update. The Israelis are running sorties to destroy these weapons that are trying to flow out of Syria. There are a lot of air strikes and air power happening over the last few hours. Now, inside Damascus, over the last 3 hours, gunfire, strikes, explosions. The rebels have entered the television centers, the radio centers in Damascus, and they have taken over the airwaves. At 6:31 p.m., Mahar al-Assad, al-Assad's brother, commander of the Syrian army's elite 4th Armored Division, fled with his family from Syria. He was still there, Mahar al-Assad. He was the commander of the 4th Armored Division. He is gone, all right? Now, at that point, about 6:30, and I'm giving you, I'm sorry, but Pacific time, it's easier than I'm trying to translate it into Syrian time, but just within the last 2.5 hours. So let's just say that, within the last 2.5 hours. At that point, 2.5 hours ago, we got the news that Bashar al-Assad, that's the face, that's the dictator, that's the statues, that's the pictures. Bashar al-Assad fled Damascus, heading for an Ilyushin 76 airplane. Fact. At that point, the rebels began to seize all the government offices in Syria. So I'm laying out the timeline. If you're just joining, we have discussed, and thank you, almost 900 in here, and just hit the like button. This is just a live stream. I usually try to use graphics and maps and to do everything I can to give you the graphics, but I know a lot are listening. So within the last 4 to 5 hours, I will just summarize again. The rebels are taking over the entire nation of Syria. Homs has fallen, Damascus is falling and has fallen, Assad's brother has departed, the rebel groups have taken over the media, the airwaves, Damascus International Airport, Homs, and now basically Damascus is falling. Assad's brother left with his family about 2.5 hours ago. He was the commander of the 4th Armored Division. It was just after that al-Assad himself departed, heading for an Aleutian 76. And at that point, the rebels, which is now within the last couple of hours, you know what, Reno Tay, I agree with that. You know, I'm struggling to call them rebels as well. Let's call them freedom fighters, liberators. How about that? All right, for the rest of this live stream, we're going to call them liberators. The liberators against the Syrian evil regime, partnering with Vladimir Putin and partnering with the Iranian evil regime that, yes, we're here to support and fight for Ukraine, but also all of these stories are connected. So these liberators right now, liberating Syria, we get to about 2 hours ago. Government offices are now seized in Damascus. At that point, I can confirm to you guys, 2 hours ago, the liberators captured the most important military prison in the entire country. It is called Sinaya Prison. They captured it. They took it over. At that point, at the same time, Damascus International Airport completely closed, 100% done. Chaos ensuing, people running around like crazy. It would have been early in the morning there. Just after that, now we're about, it's 9:13, 6:13, still 2.5 hours ago, the liberators stormed the presidential palace in Damascus 2.5 hours ago. At that point, and I'm telling you, I'm getting this stuff right from them. At that point, a new transitional Syrian government began to make statements. They took over the radio airwaves, they took over the TV channels, and 2.5 hours ago, a new transitional Syrian government broadcasted officially inside Syria, that the Assad regime had fallen. 8 Point, is this fake news? I promise you, 8 Point, this isn't fake news. I'm telling you the truth. So now, at that point, we can say 2.5 hours ago, the Assad regime is over. The transitional Syrian government, I've got the video right here, broadcasted for 4 minutes, declaring the end of Assad's rule. And not only declaring the end of Assad's rule, but this is what's very important. They stated that as the transitional government that is just forming right now in breaking fashion, in breaking news, they said, we want to work with the global community. If you guys do not hear anything else I say for the next few minutes, and I'll have you updated completely, hear that. I saw somebody in the chat say, this is a sad day for Vladimir Putin. So I understand what you're saying there. Yes, this is a sad day for Vladimir Putin. So guys, I know so many of you here are supporting Ukraine. I can see the trolls in here. Don't worry about the trolls. Let them roll. I'm telling you the truth right now. Here's the deal. If it's a sad day for Putin, and it's a sad day for Assad, and it's a sad day for Iran, and it's a sad day for North Korea, who's partnering in with all these guys, then it's a good day for Ukraine, and it's a good day for you, and it's a good day for the world. When that transitional government came out in their little statement, they took over the TV airways, the radio, and basically did that emergency broadcast. When they did that emergency broadcast, they said, because they know the world's listening, and you guys are catching it right here so early. If I was home and not traveling, I would translate the statement like that for you guys so that you could see it. But I'm here to tell you, they are saying the exact opposite of what we're hearing, what we heard spew out of Assad's mouth and Putin's lips and Kim Jong-un's lips and the Ayatollah Khomeini, all of this evil, this axis of evil. They're stating right out of Damascus, we want to work with the global community. That is a punch in the face of Vladimir Putin. Now, let's continue. 6:23 p.m. 6:23 Pacific Standard Time. Ken Patterson, I can't see anybody's quotes there, brother, but thank you. Or if you can put it back in. The chat's going so fast. I know the mods are helping. This is just a live stream where I'm staying here in Nevada. I couldn't do a facts only. I had to come on here and tell you guys this stuff. At 6:23 Pacific, 4:23 a.m. in Syria. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys the truth. Nobody knows if Assad was on that plane. Nobody knows. But there is 95% confidence from my friends in Mossad and my Israeli friends that are pushing this information to me right now that said he was on that plane at 6:23 Pacific, 4:23 a.m. James Wolf, Nevada, Area 51. Bro, come on, dude. Assad left Damascus on an Aleutian 76T cargo plane. Guys on a cargo plane heading toward an unknown destination, possibly Russia. Now, an Aleutian is a Russian-designed plane, but that doesn't mean he was headed to Russia. Most likely, yes. At 6:42 p.m. Pacific, 4:42 p.m., Assad's plane disappeared from the radar. And I know you guys are seeing all of that and you're wondering. Now, I will tell you, and I know I'm getting the info right here. 6:42, the plane disappeared from radar. And excuse me, that's just, okay, I'm going to go all Syrian time. 4:42 a.m., the plane disappeared from radar. At 4:50 a.m., the plane was reported crashed by multiple people on the ground. Forget news reporters, forget all of this. Multiple people on the ground were saying it crashed. It crashed. And they don't know what crashed. They just said it crashed. But the plane, the Aleutian that took off, it was being tracked, it disappeared from radar, and then people on the ground. I'm trying to be as truthful and as honest as I can with you guys. The people on the ground were saying a plane crashed. That plane crashed at the same time this Aleutian went off of the radio. More back on that in a minute. At the same time of that, thousands and thousands began to gather in Damascus, cheering on the liberators, the rebels, and were calling for freedom. Guys, Syria was overthrown officially during that window. Now, at that time, at 4:53 a.m., more and more ground reports. I'm not talking about military. I'm not talking about even media. I'm just talking about people on the ground just south of Homs were declaring a plane crashed, a plane crashed. At that point, everybody started tracking it. FlightAware, there's another one that I actually, Flight Radar 24. What it calculated was the rate of descent. The rate of descent indicates a crash. And at that point, people started taking credit. The rebels shot it out of the air. Uh, Russia shot it out of the air. I mean, all of this crazy stuff started happening. All I can tell you is that plane went down at the rate of descent that calculates with a crash. How fast did it fall? Assad's plane, the Aleutian 76, it lost 6,700 meters in seconds. 6,700 meters in seconds. 20,000 feet, guys. 20,000 feet. That's what we call it. Waiting for more information. Now, on the plane, it's a crash, okay? So we have the fall out of the air. We have, of course, multiple sources saying, well, it was shot down, it was shot down. Forget all of that. Forget all of that. The bottom line is the plane, we believe that was carrying Assad, descended 6,700 meters instantly, in seconds, and multiple civilians, peoples on the ground, reported the explosion. That's where we're at. I'll see what's coming now. At that point, at 7:59:05, at 8 plus 8, at 6 a.m. Let's just call it 6 a.m. It's actually 5:59 a.m. The Israeli military, the IDF, moved an entire new unit. Earlier today on Facts Only, I confirmed with you guys that Israel had pushed a second unit into Golan Heights, in the Golan Heights up on the Syrian border. They first had the 210th there, and then they moved another unit there, and just now at 6 a.m. over there, an hour and a half ago, they pushed in another unit to the Golan Heights. So traffic is now completely closed in the Golan Heights. If you don't know where the Golan Heights is, that's in the northeastern section of Israel there, where it borders up against Syria. All traffic is closed. Everything is locked down in the Golan Heights, and it is now a completely closed military area. There have been reports out that that Israel has invaded. They pushed across the border. They did all of that. But listen, none of that's confirmed. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what we can confirm as facts. So Israel has tripled their presence. They sent a third unit into the Golan Heights, and the Golan Heights is the border with Israel and Syria. There have been reports that Israel's pushing in a ground offensive and they've pushed troops in. Don't listen to all that stuff on the Twitter, guys. Don't listen to that stuff on the Twitter. Wait for the confirmation. At that point, Yemen, this is crazy. You may not hear this. Yemen started launching missiles at Israel. Yemen, where the Houthis are down south, started launching missiles at Israel. You know what? I want to say something to Ernest Murick. You're right. And that's why I'm sharing with you the facts we have. And I know you're talking about the Assad plane crash. I think I even said at the beginning of it, 95% he's on the plane, but we didn't have that 100%. But most likely. So the Iron Dome in Israel took out all of the missiles flying from Yemen towards Israel. So, guys, over the last 6 hours, the world has changed yet again. I would like to encourage you guys to really pay attention. Doing our very best, as always, to share only facts with you and to share and not, jump up and down and not try to be fast and wrong. I'm not trying to be fast and wrong. I was waiting on this, and I was actually building a facts only video, just sitting here at my little desk here, and I said, no, I've got to talk. I've got to talk about this because there's too much happening right now. Let's just go and let's watch it. The bottom line is Syria has fallen. That's a fact. All of Assad's family is gone. Gone. There is a high probability that al-Assad was on the Aleutian 76 and that plane crashed or was struck. A high probability. There are multiple reports from on the ground, from civilians, from people. We will wait. Fact, a transitional Syrian government has already been put in place and said, we want to work with the international community. That's a fact. Another fact, the rebels, the general consensus, Assad's family already left Syria last week. So general consensus, you're right, but that's not the part of his family I'm talking about. I'm talking about his brother and other sections of his family. He has a large family. So yes, there were some at the Four Seasons in Moscow. That's the truth. And thank you for sharing that truth. But the bottom line is the facts right now. The liberators, the rebels, they stated, we have found chemical weapons. That's a fact. But we do want to partner with the world so that these weapons of mass destruction and these weapons that can be crimes against humanity, I showed you guys the actual document, will not fall into the wrong hands. We want to partner with the international community. That's great news. The transitional government said, we want to partner, just in the last hour, we want to partner with the international community. We don't want to be known as this evil place of Syria and this evil regime. We're good people. So those things are all facts. When it comes to the airplane, there's a lot of information confirming that right now, but we just wait. The details will come, but there's a lot going towards that. I want to show you guys this guy right here. Y'all know him? That is Hassan Nasrallah. He's dead, by the way. But on May 25th, 2013, at that picture, he stated on that picture, if Syria falls, the resistance is lost. I think on Nasrallah was a prophet. Justice advocator. Greg, I have to say your attention to the details happening in my country is commendable. You are very welcome, Justice advocator. You're very, very welcome. I really do my best to share truth, guys. And if you're joining and you're new, we got 1,300 people in here watching. I never want to talk about myself, but I work in all these nations, and I've worked in all these nations for over, 30 years. Unbelievable. And I know I don't look that old. I'm 52 years old, but I first started working in Moscow, Russia when I was 21. I speak Russian fluently, and I've worked in Ukraine for 26 years. I run aid to the front lines. I'll be back in Ukraine here right after Christmas, but I've also worked in Israel for decades, and I've been in Lebanon and all these places partnering, Pakistan, all over Africa. So I care about our world. We do humanitarian aid. We do missions work. I see the questions there. Just tons of different work. That's what we do. So I want to share truth with you. Now, here's what's coming in, and no more information. No more information. Conservative or liberal, big guy. What I am is I'm a hunter for truth. I don't even like those titles, to be honest with you. I want to hunt for truth, and I want to bring people together. I believe that no matter what your viewpoint is, and now I've turned a little personal here because I'm getting to the last of the breaking news, and we'll be done. I'm not going to sit here and just make up stuff and waste your time, because I don't do that. But I just want to be a person and a channel that stands for what is right, stands for the goodness in people, stand for care and love, and we've got enough evil in our world. We've got enough evil in our world, and I will tell you that if we can work together and we can set down, big guy, you don't mess with me, brother. I'm trying to help you out. Don't even play. I'm trying to tell you the truth, man. Everybody wants to hide behind their titles of conservative or liberal or left or right. Guess what? 99% of the people on the planet don't give a flying flip if you're a conservative or a liberal. They want to know that you care about them. And we've gotten so messed up hiding behind our titles and our colors, and we just think that our mentality and our way and our political viewpoints and how we live life is right. That's a bunch of crap, man. The best thing that comes together is when we work together and we lay down the things that divide us. And that crap you right there, all you want to do is divide, man. I'm telling you, people want truth, and people want to come together, and people want to find out that the things that they agree on are much more important than the things that divide them. So anyway, here we go. The last thing, I will tell you this, guys, 6:10 a.m., 6:10 a.m., a few IDF tanks have crossed the Syrian border, and they have entered the town of Al-Qunaitra. It is on the border with Sergei Bara. Привет, дорогой. Привет. IDF tanks have entered and captured the Syrian town of Al-Qunaitra. This is in the demilitarized zone over the Syrian border. So that's where we're at. I can tell you right now, 24 minutes ago, the IDF just attacked another weapons depot in Syria. It's the same thing, guys. Israel is attacking the weapons depots, and Russia is blowing up the depots, and the liberators are going through setting the country free, and this is what we're seeing. That's all I have right now. It has been a joy to hop in here. I hope it's been helpful to you. Kamir Lesson, thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for all of that. I've enjoyed having these conversations with you, and I just thank you. I don't want to keep you up any later, but thank you. Just remember, all of this is connected, and we will continue to do our best. I am at 9:35 here on the West Coast in the United States, completely up to date for sure. We will be talking. And Mitch Ashdown, thanks for waking me, Greg. You're very welcome, Mitch. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you to all of you. I will say this. The next important thing we watch for. Yeah, fun and games. Isn't it interesting? No, very little media reports on this. It's the truth. Let's just say this. Kanti Luden, razum do peremoga, bratushka. Let's just say this. The next thing we watch for is confirmation now on Bashar al-Assad. That's what we're waiting for. That is the next step. The bottom line as I close out, Syria has fallen. Assad is no longer in power. There's a high probability that his plane has crashed. We will wait for final confirmation so we can call it a fact. Munition depots are being blown everywhere. Supplies, Russia running sorties, Israel running sorties, missiles flying from Yemen. Israel has put some tanks across the Syrian border into Al-Qunitra. And the transitional government is already in place, and stating that they want to work with the world. So at that point, was he in the plane? We'll see. Did it crash? Was it because it was a terrible Soviet plane? Was it shot out of the air? I don't know, but we shall see. God bless all of you guys. Thank you. And if you're here and you haven't subscribed or all of that stuff, please consider join our Discord. We have a great group, a great crew, and thank you. We will always do our best, and we shall see. Tomorrow will be big news about that. Guys, be blessed and have a great day. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me here. Appreciate all of you. I'm on my phone sideways. I don't have any computers. And the super chats, if you super chat. Doge, I just saw yours go by. Thank you, Greg. Keep doing all the good work you do. Truly a rare, selfless individual. Do what you can to help others. Do Peramoga. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of our moderators jumping in here at the last second. I wasn't even able to warn them. Thank you, guys. You are the best. And we'll check back tomorrow with you. Look for a facts only, and we will confirm everything in regard to that plane and Assad. Be blessed, and see you later.